Hey there everybody, Gideon's Tactical. Doing a discussion here on smooth versus serrated knife edges and knife blades and the pros and cons of each and what are the best uses for a blade that is serrated versus a blade that's just a plain edge. So let's kind of look at here. We'll look at the four players in this particular drama that we're watching. We have a Buck Vantage Force. We have a Spyderco Persistence, we have a SOG Seal Pup, and we have an Ontario Knife Blackbird SK5. So those are the four guys that we're looking at because I want to give you both fixed blade and folding knives, just a couple ideas here. Now, a lot of people like combo edges, a lot of people like plain edges, but there are rules for each type of blade that really will help and what these blades are really designed for. So let's kind of talk about the pocket knives first. When it comes and again, this is all just my opinion, guys. I've been around knives and I use them regularly. They're not just for show. This isn't just, a collection of my stuff. I go out and thump on these things. I use them. I'm hiking. I'm EDCing with these things on a regular basis. So this is just my opinion. Other people may have different opinions. Throw your opinion out there, on the discussions of this video, just let's talk about this. But this is just my personal opinion. If you're kind of new to the pocket knives, or you're trying to figure out what's good or not. When it comes to, in my opinion, EDC blades, which is what I would characterize these two folding knives, it's really personal preference, in my opinion. A plain edge versus a serrated for pocket knife. Serrated is great for cutting rope. Maybe getting through some tougher cardboard boxes. If you're really having to saw through some stuff. Cutting maybe a seat belt. Or some sort of webbing or something like that. That's what serration is really great for. But at the same time, with both of these things, serration is taking away the amount of belly and the amount of cutting edge that you can actually do clean cuts. If you're preparing food, if you're having to, slice through a box, a serration may be able to get through it a little bit better, but it's going to be really jagged and really not clean. So when it comes to EDC use, in my opinion, it's just personal preference. I prefer plain edge just because I like to have a full amount of as much edge as possible to do clean cuts if I'm cutting through something, I'm slicing open a box or I'm slicing open, packaging. I want clean cuts, not jagged, cuts like that. Now, that's not to say that I don't carry a serrated pocket knives on me. I actually, for my tactical blades, for my larger, over 3-inch blades, my 3.5, my 3 3/4. Those type of blades, I usually carry it with a combo edge just because it gives me some more versatility. But for my normal pocket knife, I like a plain edge in preference to a serrated. So those are kind of just the pocket ideas, and I'm just kind of throwing those out there. Really, EDC use is just your personal preference. There's really no, in my opinion, pros or cons. Now to the fixed blades. Now, in my opinion, that's where it really gets into what are you using your knife for. We have again here, and I'll remove these pocket knives out of here. We have this SOG Seal Pup, and we have this Ontario Blackbird SK5. Both would be titled survival knives. Both have 5-inch blades. Both are, mostly full tang. All those things. So really, what are the good pros and cons of each? Now, when you're looking at serrated blade, like I said before, this is good for cutting through man-made, in my opinion, man-made materials. Serration is good for man-made materials. When you start getting into wood and different types of vegetation, things like that, it really starts to prohibit the amount of edge that you can really start to do your work versus a plain edge, full plain edge, where you have this entire 5 inches to be able to do your wood prep. If you're carving, you're feathering for some fire, you're notching, you're doing all those things. A plain edge, in my opinion, is going to give you more overall. You're batoning. You want a nice, strong grind and edge the whole wood through. You don't want to be using this really thin-edged serration while you're trying to blast through some wood. So in my opinion, when it comes to plain edge versus serrated for fixed blade, if you're using your knife for utility tasks or urban environments, like this SOG Seal Pup is my urban fixed blade. And what I mean by that is, it's in my truck, it's on my pack if I'm walking around, in urban areas, those type of things where I'm going to run into a lot more man-made materials. I am going to have to maybe cut through some webbing or open a tin can to get some food or cut through paracord or other cords or, different things like that. I'm going to have this with serrated on it because I'm not going to really probably be running into a lot of wood. and this is what, and then this becomes, the serration is great, and then I can really cut through a seatbelt if I had to save someone's life really quick, or myself, or whatever, and this serration really helps with that. But if I'm going out for an all-day hike or an overnighter, or I'm going to be processing some wood or doing some things like that, I'm going to go with the plain edge because it gives me a lot more edge to actually cut through things. To I can choke up really close and start notching really close to my finger here. I don't have to. When I took this out in the field and was using this in the woods, I had to really choke up on this seal pup, and because I got to cut it all the way down here, I got to that's where I have to do my cutting for my wood, or if I'm hacking off a branch, I got to make sure I'm hacking it up here and not on the serration. So hopefully this helps you guys out a little bit. I mean, that's just a short video talking about serrations versus plain. Other people may have other opinions, but if you're going in the bush and you're going to be using it mostly for nature's, you're going to be cutting nature's items, use a plain edge in my opinion. It's going to do a lot more for you and be overall a better knife for you. But if you're using this either as a tactical blade, if you're using a knife, if you're looking for like a tactical blade or more for utility tasks of cutting through man-made materials, then you want to go with a serrated over a plain edge, because the serration will definitely help you when it comes to rope or just like all the things I listed, webbing and cloth and all those different things. This is going to cut a little bit better and do more for you. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Again, that's just my opinion, and comment, and hopefully this will guys maybe help you make some decisions in upcoming knife purchases. What are you really using your knife for, and buy accordingly when it comes to serration or plain edge. So thanks for watching. Stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.